Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am so excited to bring on an incredible human. Her name is Courtney, and she just graduated from your Binge Free Life Academy, formerly known as the Ditch Decade Diets Academy, now rebranded to your Binge Free Life Academy. And Courtney is not just an incredible human being, but she has given it her all throughout this journey. And you're going to hear her come on and share bits and pieces of her journey. But something that I absolutely love about Courtney is her willingness to go all in. Her willingness to go all in. She showed up to literally every single coaching call, every single training. Like she's put in the work. You know, many people see my clients and they're like, how did they conquer binge eating? What did they do? And I'm like, they showed up so powerfully for themselves. They commit long term. I've worked with Courtney for a year plus. They commit long term. They get the proper coaching. They put in the work. Courtney has shared so many times vulnerably on coaching calls. Like everyone in the community, everyone inside of the academy loved Courtney so much because Courtney always went first. She was always open and vulnerable, and she really gave it her all throughout this journey. I see her as someone who's so resilient. There's been times she shared with me. I literally wanted to go to Costco and grab all the snacks and say F it and just binge. And then she used the tools and said, no, that's actually not who I am. And she chose to not give in to her urge. Like, this is one example of like putting in the work. She's gone on vacation. She's enjoyed so many delicious foods, and she's so much more in tune with her body, where now actually vacations feel effortless around food. Like she's someone who can now go on vacations and she feels so much more at ease around food. Doesn't matter how good the food is in front of her, you're going to hear her talk. She's had so many moments where she's just left food on her plate, no matter how good the food is, because she's full. She knows how to listen to her body. She's getting better at setting better boundaries at work with family members. Like she has come so far, and this work that I do with my clients goes way beyond healing your relationship with food and conquering binge eating. Every single area of her life has improved. She's honestly, truly stepped into her badass self. She's so committed to her habits, her routine. She's gotten up on her first alarm, literally, I think almost every single day for an entire year. She joined one of our challenges way back last June, and she's been consistent ever since. Like, she is just someone who's resilient. She doesn't give up. She's put in the work. She's shown up powerfully for herself. She's been vulnerable. She's been there for the community. She's poured into our community. She's always gotten the highest level of support. She actually started in Conquer. Well, she joined one of my programs, Master Your Mind for a Binge-Free Life. She right away jumped inside of Conquer, committed for a full year. But she was like, honestly, I'm actually ready for the academy. I want the highest level of support. I'm ready for personalized coaching. Like, I am so beyond ready for my binge-free life. And so she's been inside of the academy, and it's been such an honor to support her. So I'm so excited to bring her on. You guys are going to love her. You guys are going to see her resiliency, her hard work, her dedication, and how committed she truly is to this process, which that 100% contributed to the results that she has today with her relationship with food. So I am so excited to bring her up, and let's go ahead and dive on it. Hello, hello.
Hi.
You need to do hello. Oh my goodness. How are you?
I am good. I just put my work phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm good. Yeah.
Amazing. Excellent. Well, I'm so excited to have you come on. I was actually just reflecting. I think it's been a full year since we've worked together. I know that you joined Master Your Mind. That was the first
hmm
program that you did. I think it was mid end of May.
Yeah.
And then you jump into Conquer and you're like, screw that. I'm ready for the academy. So let's go way back. What
Okay.
made you even want to get support? Like, where were you kind of at on your journey before you even decided to reach out and get some support?
Um, well, I had, let's see. I mean, over the years, like I've had good stints where things are going well and I've got things under control. Um, but I, like COVID was just a lot. And then I just had some things happen in my personal life I just couldn't quite get out of. Um, and I just kept trying to white knuckle it. And I just kept thinking, like, I know what to do. Like, I've done it before. I know what to do. I know how to do this. And I just finally was like, I don't know it was like midnight. I was like, I don't know how to do this. And I thought, I'm just gonna like look up on Instagram anybody who has binge eating in their name, in their handle. And I found a few, and you were the one who was like super excited. Like on the first thing I opened up, and I was like, her, I'm going to see what she has. But yeah, it was like a midnight, like I can't do this by myself. It's not working.
Mm,
And I'm ready to like really solve it for good. Like I don't want to just like get it figured out for a couple years and then end up back here again.
yeah. Yeah. And what did you do prior to joining the academy? Like what were some things that you tried where you're like, I've had moments where I felt pretty good with food, but it was like never really like lasting or sustainable. What were those things?
Um, like I tried other programs where it was like, plan out what you're gonna eat for the day and then that's what you eat for the day. And it like kind of worked until I went out to dinner or I missed a workout or, and I'm big into working out. And so it was like I would just make my workout plan bigger. Like, oh, I have to do more workout, more exercise will fix this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I just kept trying to do more planning, more exercise, just more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like very common, right? It's like almost like the hustle mentality. It's like, I got to make up for it, right? And I think a lot of people can probably relate to that. So, what was different from what we did inside of the academy, like rewiring your brain and honestly, even beyond food? Because let's be honest, we talk so much more about other things that have nothing to do with food, but ironically actually heal your relationship with food. So what has been different in this program than, what you've really done in the past?
Um, Probably just like focusing on little things that I can do throughout the day to, I don't know, just feel better and take care of myself better. Like the regulating your nervous system little steps. It was like, no, you don't wait until you're in that binge. Like, I have to go to the store and get every single snack, or like while I'm walking the aisles of the store. That's not when I'm doing the breath work or the, little butterfly tapping or whatever dance part. I'm not gonna dance party in the middle of the chips aisle, Safeway. Um, but it was this realization of like, okay, so I'll do those things when I'm feeling good, and that will just build up feeling good more often and
Yes.
kind of let those urges not happen as often.
Yes.
So it was kind of, I think that was the biggest change, was to kind of like doing less and then doing more of the things that actually helped.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's more like preventing the urges from arising because what I see so often, it's like people are like, I have an urge, like what do I do? And then at that point, you're like, it's so freaking strong. I just have to give in. Versus it's like, let's get to a point where we change your thoughts around food. We, shift your mindset, we rewire your brain so that the urge eventually, stops popping up. And I wanted to actually bring that up because I remember one of our calls, you talked about like, I I'm going to go to Costco and I'm just going to say F it and buy all these snacks. But then you were able to not give in. And you've done that so many times. And I just want to share that and like almost reflect that back to you of how even in the moments when you did have an urge, you didn't give in. And
Hmm.
so I want to talk about that and maybe you can even just bring forward like what supported you in those moments where everything in you just wanted to say F it. I'm buying a bunch of snacks at Costco, but you didn't let the urge win.
It came down, you always talk about like listening to your body and really tuning in to what you really want. Um, and so I started just trying to pay attention to that fleeting moment when my body was like, no, we don't want to do this. Like, I know that you've already driven here and you've gotten out of the car and you are in the aisle staring at what you want, but I don't want it.
Mm,
And it just came down to paying attention to that little voice in my head that was like, no, no, no.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge because you can have like two voices. Like one of the voices is like, no, I actually do. I actually
Hmm.
do want to just say F it. And then the other voice, your true voice, is like, this isn't Courtney. This is actually not who I am. And I think you've just been so good at listening to your true voice, not like the binge brain, but it's like actually like what you want deep down, which has been really supportive.
Hmm. Yeah. And it's gotten easier with practice,
Yep.
because there were definitely like when I first started noticing it, I mean there were definitely times where I was like, shh,
Yeah.
not right now.
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
repetition, right? I always say like repetition
Hmm.
is what rewires your brain. And I think you've gotten so good at just like continuously like not acting on those urges or continuously reframing your thoughts or getting up on your first alarm, which you've been freaking a beast at. And it's like it only gets easier over time the more you actually do those things. So
Hmm.
I think that plays a huge role too. But another thing I wanted to bring forward was vacations because I know for so many people, vacations is actually more challenging when it comes to the food and the buffets and the desserts and all or nothing mentality. And we've talked in our coaching that you've been feeling like grounded and you've gone on vacation throughout this program. And I'd love for you to share what you feel has supported you in getting to this point where vacations aren't challenging around food.
Um, yeah, that's kind of been like a slow process too. And I feel like my last two vacations, it was just, I don't know, so easy because I was so tired of being in my head about food all the time, like having a meal with my best friend and just constantly thinking about like, what can I eat when we're done with this? Like I wanted to focus on the conversation and have fun and enjoy myself. And I mean, one hand, it was, it's just a lot less stressful than my work life. So we talked about how that kind of helps. Um, but I think it was just a matter of I'm just going to go and I want to have fun and I want to have a good time. And I'm going to do that by participating instead of eating.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like actually living,
Hmm.
actually enjoying the vacation versus just making it all about the food,
Yeah.
which is huge. And for those of you guys who are obviously not on one of our coaching calls, we talked a lot about, when you're at home and maybe you have to go to work and things are busy, you're like, I got to do the laundry and I got to cook and I got to clean. Like when you're in that like go, go, go state, sometimes it is hard to feel more calm and more grounded. And, when you're on vacation, it's like, I'm living my life and I'm choosing to be present and I'm choosing to let go. Like I don't need to do my workouts. I don't need to, eat perfectly. I'm still going to have my non-negotiables, but it's like I can actually just relax and enjoy myself and that takes courage. It takes courage to be like I don't need things to be perfectly. I don't need to eat in a certain way. I don't need to work out in a certain way. And as a result, you just feel more calm. And then it's like, I don't have the all or nothing mentality where I need to eat everything because you're not making it about the food, which is
Hmm.
which is really huge. And even being able to stop when you're full, can you share about that a little bit? Because I'm thinking about the burrito. I'm like, you have so many examples where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you have to bring up the burrito. Let's talk about the burrito, okay? I'm like
I
never
sw
gonna forget this.
I swear to be talking about this burrito when I'm like 90. I
Literally.
really feel like it was just like this real turning point that I was just like, this is a moment. Um, like my friend, we were in Hawaii and we ended up at this little Mexican restaurant by accident. Like we couldn't find the place we were going to, and we had ended up in this other parking lot, and we were both hungry, and we looked over and we're like, let's go there. And at first I was like, oh, that's gonna be a lot of food. But so I got this burrito, and it was huge, but it was the most amazing burrito. Like, just, I mean, the ratios were perfect. Like, they put guacamole in it, but it wasn't just like this clump of guacamole. It was like spread out perfectly. It was amazing. And so and they'd cut it in half, and I was eating it, and I got to like the end of the first half, and I just remember thinking, like, oh, I am full. I had that moment of, ooh, I thought, but I love this burrito so much. I want to eat the whole thing. And I just had this moment of, well, I don't want to waste, like, I want to eat the whole thing because I don't want to waste it because it's so good. Like I don't want to just toss the rest of it. I mean, we're going to be out and about the rest of the day. It's not like I could take it with us. And I just had this moment of like, but if I eat it, I'm still wasting it. Like I'm wasting the experience of this amazing burrito. And I was thinking about this before our call. I was like, I'm almost doing a disservice to the beauty of this burrito and the lady who made it. If I just eat it until it makes me sick, and then I don't think, oh, that burrito was so great ever again. So it just was like this weird moment of it's a waste no matter what. And it's just a matter of how do how do I really want to feel in this moment? And I was full and I didn't want to eat anymore. And so I let the other half of the burrito go.
So sad, but I let it go. No,
Oh, good.
I love that so much because again, it's like there's so many moments where you could have said F it. At Costco, you could have said F it. When you're on vacation, you could have said F it. When you're enjoying this burrito that's literally so freaking delicious, but it's like if I want to change, if I want to be able to be the person who effortlessly eats when I'm hungry and stops when I'm full, I no longer have urges. It's like I have to be willing to put in the work now so I can have lasting freedom for the rest of my life. And you've just been really dedicated and committed to this entire process. And it's easy to let your mind slip into like one last time, but I'm on vacation, but it's so good. And it's in those moments where you have to choose your higher self, your badass self, the most courageous version of yourself, because it does take work. It does take work to reframe your mind to say, no, I'm actually not going to do that,
Hmm. Yeah.
which is huge.
Yeah. And I just really want to enjoy life. And part of that is enjoying eating. And the way that I was eating before meeting you and this whole process, I wasn't really enjoying it. Like, right? Like if I was eating something I really liked, then I just ate too much of it and then I didn't like it anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I talk about that where it's like, making eating an experience. Like food is pleasurable, but
Hmm.
we don't want food to be the main source of pleasure or like the only thing. But it's like food is meant to be enjoyed. And when you actually slow down, you taste it, you make it an enjoyable experience. It's like you don't feel the need to eat it all because you actually tasted it. You got, the pleasure out of it. And you're like, I'm good. Like,
Hmm.
I don't need any more. So the next thing I want to bring forward is this long-term mindset. So something you said as soon as you came on, you said, I've had periods of time where things were going well, but I wasn't able to really sustain it. And before coming into the academy, you signed up for Conquer for 12 months and then you did a little bit and you're like, F that, I'm going to the academy. But you've always had, you've always committed long term. And
Hmm.
so I'd love to kind of hear your perspective on that, your mindset on that, and why you really chose to go all in and commit to something long term in terms of support.
Well, on one hand, it kind of was like, well, if I do 12 months, it'll surely I'll have solved it by then. Um, but I also I mean, like there's no deadline and there is no and I was tired of reaching for quick fixes, like the 3-week diet plan or whatever, or this was going to just solve everything. And I was like, it doesn't do it. So I just thought, well, the long-term one is bound to get me there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that really
Yeah.
was my thought process on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I have the whole rest of my life, and in the whole rest of my life, God willing, like a year's not really that long.
And, and that's the funny part. It's like, honestly, when I think about it, like 6 months, a year is nothing compared to having the rest of your life no longer binging, stepping into the badass version of yourself. It's like a year, like it's been a year, and I'm like, I blinked. I
Oh
blinked.
yeah,
Like, wait, hold on, we're celebrating like a year. That's insane.
yeah.
It's insane. So through this process of committing to a year, what what are you able to do now? Like, let's talk about, obviously we talked about a few wins, but like, how has your life shifted, or how has your relationship with food shifted, or what are you able to do now that maybe you weren't able to do prior when you were just focusing on those quick fixes?
Um, well, I just feel better for one. Like I'm not over exercising. Um, really I'm just not doing all the jumping and crazy hit workouts that I thought were for certain gonna fix everything. And I'm eating food that I enjoy. And, I mean, there was that one day that I was just like sitting at home thinking around, and my friend was like, "Can you meet for, I forget where we went, Shake Shack?" And I was like, "Sure." And went down and enjoyed my time and had a great time and wasn't worried about what I was eating or then what I had to eat for the rest of the day. Um, and 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 on like the social front, I have a little bit, I'm still working on it, but a little bit less anxiety as far as like reaching out to people. 'Cause, I was always like, oh, I don't think they want to hear from me. Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like my friend is in town and her family goes camping every year. And last year they invited me and I'd never gone. And I was like, I'm going because she invited me, so I should go. And I also wanted to go. And so then this year they're doing it again. And so I'm going on Saturday. And I feel a lot better about it, just as far as like knowing where I'm going and the parking situation and because I've done it before, so now it's not scary. But I like last year I packed like a sandwich and some food just in case I needed a snack or something. Well, on Saturday when I go, I know that, I mean they're gonna have like camp like chips and all the sorts of food there and they have this elaborate like dinner. I'm like, you are camping? This is very elaborate. Um, so I'm not gonna pack a snack. So I mean I know that I won't die if I don't have a snack in my purse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's different. And just like going out to eat, kind of like on the vacation front and not wanting to eat food, it's almost like a game now of like, when is it gonna come? When am I gonna be full?
Yeah.
And then just also just in the day to day, like I'm just a lot less reactive. And I mean, even was it yesterday? I think I'd made like turkey burgers and I was cleaning up and I spilled like turkey juice on the floor. And I just had this moment of like, that's gross. That that's gross. And then I cleaned it up and I moved on with my life. But
Yeah.
there was a time in the past that I would have just like had a meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Even the protein shake,
and the protein shake behind the stove.
behind the stove. It's like, and that's, people don't recognize that your relationship with food regulating your nervous system is related to like the irritability and the snappiness, like there's so many people that I work with. It's like, I used to be reactive or super snappy or super irritable. And that doesn't have to be a label. It doesn't have to
Hmm.
be like, this is who I am. I just snap very easily, or I'm reactive, or I'm this perfectionist. And it's like, no, because once you actually work on yourself, you love yourself more, you heal your relationship with food, we do the work inside the programs, it's like you're more calm, not just with food, but calm in your life. Calm to freaking spill things on the floor and be like, yeah, that sucks, and move about your day. So
Hmm.
I love that you brought that forward. And I think so many people like admire that. Like so many people are going to admire that because people want to feel calm. People want to feel relaxed. People don't want to be snappy and irritable and reactive.
No,
It's not a good feeling. So
no. Yeah, I remember just hating feeling that way.
yeah. Well, it doesn't feel like you.
No, yeah, for sure.
And then it's like I feel bad for the fact that I snapped on this person or I got reactive. So I need food to make me feel better.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Or like something stressful would happen at work, and my instant thought would be like snacks. I have to go get
Yes.
snacks. Like that's not gonna make this client situation any better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 100%. The stress is still going to be there. It's like, doesn't make the
yeah.
stress go away. Doesn't make the workload go away. Doesn't make the projects go away. You still have to navigate it. And it's actually that much harder to navigate those situations when you are feeling bad or feeling shameful about the things that you're doing with food as well too.
Hmm. Yeah.
So we talked about long-term support. We talked about like actually tuning into your intuition and your higher self, saying no to your urges. I want to talk about you jumping into Conquer for like not even a month. And then you decided to really go all in with the academy.
Hmm.
Now, what was your mindset around like going all in, getting the highest level of personalized coaching? Like what made you want to just really give this your all and get the highest level of mentorship?
Um, well, like with the master mindset program, I just was like, I don't know, I just had this feeling of I'm in the right place. This is a safe place. I really think that I can do it here. Like, I really think that this program is going to help me. And as I was going through that program in Conquer, because I really think it was like, what, 10 days or 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, it was so
And
quick.
I, right. And I, like, you posted something about the academy, and I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to go big. Like, I just, I'm ready to do this for the last time. And why am I holding myself back? Why not just go all in and do it? And it was really scary. I mean, I don't like it took like a month for me to like talk on the academy calls.
Yeah.
Be like, any questions? No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just I want this to be the last time. And so if it's going to be the last time, then I just have to do everything I can.
Hmm. I remember those first calls where I'm like, she does like, and again, sometimes some people don't have a question, sometimes it's fine, but then it's like you started like coming on to every call and then like sharing a win. Sometimes you wouldn't even have a question, you would just share and show up and say, this is the win that I have, and actually be seen and witnessed in your win. Or you would bring up a question and I feel like you just got more comfortable even with yourself. And I think with this process, like it causes you to be vulnerable and it causes you to open up. But something that even the group reflected back to you, thank God Courtney went first. Thank God Courtney shared what she shared because I was thinking the exact same thing, or I didn't want to bring that up, but thank you for bringing that up. And so, what do you think helped you? Like, okay, yes, you were like, I'm going to go all in. Okay, you invested, you committed long term, you got the highest level of support. But then that next step of, if I'm going to do this, like, I'm going to share my heart. I'm going to ask the questions that I really want to ask. What led you to actually going all in, even with that?
Well, like that first month, I was just so nervous and I was like, I don't want people to judge me or like everyone else seems so much farther along or like she showed up and she's just doing it and I'm over here like, ah. Um, but I also just had a sit down with myself of, look, you want this to be the last time you signed up for this and you said you were going to do this. And so in order to do it, you have to show up for the things and you have to talk. Um, so I just told myself if I don't have, 'cause I work from home, so that's very helpful. And I thought, well, if I'm not like if I don't have a meeting, then that's just when I'm going to take my break and I will get on the call. And no matter what, before I even thought about it, you'd be like, put whatever in the chat so then you're next. And I'd be like, just do it. And it just was like, because I had a lot of anxiety as a kid, and my mom did a really good job of just like trying to just push me a little bit more. And so I would just be like, okay, let's just try it this one time. Let's just on this call, we're just going to show up and we're going to put the little word in and we're going to do it. And I would write down on my little post-it note, like, okay, this is my question. And then it just got easier the more there's that repetition again. It just got easier
Yeah.
and easier the more I went. And also just, everyone else in the academy being so supportive and sharing what they were going through. I could always see how it related to what I was going through, but also just if they were going through something that I wasn't going through, it's not like I was judging them. So of course they're not judging me. So all that to say, I just really had to talk to myself of like, you signed up to go big. So we need to start going big. We can't be hiding and be like, oh no, I'll just listen to the recordings. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's not really working.
Yeah. I talk about stepping out of your comfort zone, and like that's what it is, you know? And it's like, man, like this, the work that we do is such a mirror for life. You know, it's like you lean into the challenges and this program, whether it's not giving into an urge, whether it's sharing openly, whether it's, setting a boundary. And it's like, if you have the courage to do these things in this program, it's like you can take all of that courage and implement it into your life. And you've done that even with like boundaries at work and even starting with boundaries with friends. You have been able to do that because you've leaned into the courage. And how has being inside of the academy even just improved other areas of your life, like even outside of food? Because we don't just talk about food inside this program, we talk about the boundaries, communication, relationships, and anything you want to share on that side.
Well, like it's helped me set boundaries. Um, like I make sure that I have input on, what time we're going to do an event. Because a lot of in the past it was like, oh, they want to hang out with me, whatever time is fine, right? But it wasn't really serving me to just go with like I want to be a go with the flow person, but it can't just be a complete, can't think of the word, but
Mm-hmm.
so that's been helpful. And then, just some like pretty big personal things have happened and I've just been able to navigate them a little bit more easily. Um, and I mean, just with being able to process my emotions, that's been a big thing. Because I have always just been like, I just stuff it down. Just don't let anyone know that you're struggling. Don't struggle. And everything that I've learned in this program has helped me just kind of deal with things and be okay with like, I'm sad, but I don't have to eat and feel gross and be sad. I can just be sad.
Mm-hmm.
And like even years ago, I remember I posted on some like message board thing, like this was way back. I'm an old lady, but um I said I was like, I wonder if something along the lines of like what's going to come up for me when I stop eating all the time. Like, and now looking back, I remembered that the other day and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I was kind of aware that I was stuffing things down with food, but it's just really hard to figure out how not to do that.
Mm,
Yeah. And learning to do that has been amazing.
yeah. And now you recognize I don't have to fear my emotions. It's like there can be a day where I'm like, oh, where's the stress balls? I'm freaking stressed, or like I'm mad, or I'm angry, or I'm disappointed. And it's just that, like we talked about, it's like the sadness isn't going to go away by eating. The frustration, the stress isn't going to go away by eating. And yeah, you've been able to really just process your emotions and get better at feeling them so that you don't have to eat your emotions, which is massive.
Yeah. And
Which is,
then, because, they always just build up and then they come out.
yeah. Yeah. And then you literally
Yeah.
can't handle them because there's just a
Yeah.
stack of them,
Hmm.
which is huge. Well, man, this has been amazing. And, everyone in the community loves you. And even on our last Academy call, everyone was like, Courtney! Because again, like you going first, you always sharing so openly on the calls, you being resilient, you putting in the work, and you being such a high example inside of the academy and even just in the badass community in general has been so huge. And I know it's benefited you, but it's also really helped other people because you decided to always go first and share and lean in and go all in. So I'm so proud of you, and you've come so far from like not talking on the calls to like literally just being this badass and sharing so openly, and it's been just really incredible to witness your journey.
Thank you.
Of course. Any last minute things that you want to bring forward, share, um, that you think would be beneficial?
Um, well, I guess one thing, just throughout this whole process and like looking back, I can see how far I've come and what all the changes I've made and how different I am when I look back. But when I was in it, I did not feel like it was happening a lot. And I would say like I make 2 steps forward and 14 steps back. And just to anybody who is feeling that way, like that's still progress because you're still making those 2 steps forward. And now I feel like, I make 2 steps forward and maybe it's 3 steps back. So it's just a little bit easier. But looking back at the whole year and where I started, and even like before Master Your Mind, I did that one body image program and I just was not in the right mental space. And I just remember I was standing in my kitchen listening to you and I thought, I can't do this. I can't do it. And I stopped it and I left. Um, but you just kept showing up on my Instagram and I was like, okay, let's do this one. I think I can do it. And just showing up for myself. And even when it didn't feel like anything was happening, that's really, I feel like the key, just like lean into the messy disaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things are happening behind the scenes. I share that all the time. But if you would have pulled the plug, if you would have been like, oh, it's not working, and you would have pulled the plug, you wouldn't have actually been on the other side. You wouldn't have
Hmm.
gotten to where you are. And this is a lesson for everyone listening. And again, I did an intro where I'm like, Courtney is resilient as F. Like she is so resilient. But again, it's not that you had a perfect journey and it was so rainbows and butterflies and easy the whole time. You had to choose courage, being brave, leaning into the fear, stepping into your badass self, continuing to go. And that's why committing long term, it's actually so much easier because you're like, there's no pressure, there's no
Hmm.
rush. Like, I'm in this for the long term. So
Yeah.
I I just love that so much. And for everyone listening, I know that you just gave them so much hope to be like, this journey isn't going to be linear, but if you stay the course, it's going to be so freaking worth it.
Yeah. Just keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Well, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your heart. It's been amazing. I'm excited to continue, obviously supporting you, but this has been amazing. I'm so freaking proud of you, and be proud of yourself for, coming on this too. And like you're always just making challenge moves, and it's like I've always seen that about you. It's like you feel the fear and you do it anyways, and that's the true definition of a badass.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And
So,
thank you for everything. It's just been amazing.
of course, of course, you're so welcome. Well, thank you so much, Courtney, for coming on. This has been amazing, and I'm so excited for everyone to listen to your journey. And I look forward to supporting you over the next few months as well, too.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys, we are back to it just being me. I am so freaking proud of Courtney. And a few takeaways, which I'm sure you've gotten from this podcast. Courtney decided to go all in. Not a 30-day program, not a 3-week program. Courtney decided to go all in, a year plus. She didn't want another quick fix. She didn't want to just have less urges or do well with food for a month or two or have a better body image for a short period of time. She wanted to actually do this and sustain this for the rest of her life, which is why, number one, she committed long term. And number two, she went all in with the highest level of support inside of the academy. And this is so important. She said, I know that I'm meant to be there. Like I'm not here to play small. Like I said, I want to go all in. I want to do things sustainably. Like I'm not going to hold myself back. And when you feel the pull, you're like, yes, like I'm meant to be in that program, whatever program it is of mine. Like, in your heart and your soul, you're like, I'm meant to be in that room. I'm meant to be in that space. Listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. The other biggest takeaway was Courtney never gave up. This journey is not linear. It's not like you're gonna have, a bunch of days where you're feeling amazing. Like, absolutely. But there's also going to be challenging moments. There's also going to be moments where you have to lean into courage and be brave and lean into the fear and step into your badass self. And that's what Courtney did. She never once gave up. This is why I say she's resilient. She never once gave up. And because she did not pull the plug, because she committed long term, she was all in, even when an urge popped up or she overeaten, or maybe she didn't love what she saw in the mirror. It's like, no matter what, I'm going to continue to show up. She didn't hide. She didn't, pull back. She continued leaning in. She showed up to the coaching calls. She shared her wins. She celebrated herself. She set those boundaries for herself. She committed long term. She was all in, the highest level of support, which is why she can go on vacation and food feels effortless. Why she has non negotiables, high standards for herself. Why she's able to stop when she's full, no matter if she's at a restaurant, on vacation, eating a delicious burrito. Like, she is so much more connected to her intuition, to her body, her fullness cues. So if you're ready to do this, you're like, I am so beyond ready for my binge free life. I'm ready to conquer. I want to be more present in my life. You heard her talk about not being so reactive. If you want to feel more present, more calm throughout the day, you want food to feel effortless. You want to actually take really good care of yourself. Courtney says she's feeling so much better because she actually takes really good care of herself. She has those boundaries. She has non-negotiables. She gets up on her first alarm. She moves her body from a place of self-love. No more over-exercising. She knows how to listen to her body. If you want to truly be someone who can go on vacation and honestly food feel effortless, you can go out for dinner, easily stop when you're full, you're more calm, more present throughout the day, you're ready to do things sustainably, you're ready to end binge eating for good and literally improve every single area of your life, feel like an unstoppable badass, the academy is for you. This is the highest level of coaching and support. It's mentorship. It's personalized mentorship with me in a small group where I personally support you in stepping into your binge-free life. This is the highest level of support. You're ready to go all in. You don't want to just learn the tools because, as Courtney said, she's like, I know a lot of what to do. But if you feel like I know what to do, but there's something holding me back, like there's a disconnect between actually doing it, The academy is going to be so beneficial for you because every single week you get coaching calls with me. This is where you get the coaching. We can work through, okay, what are the limiting beliefs? We can work on identity shifts. So often people are like, I want to stop binge eating. But what's on the other side? There's a lot of fear. There's, who am I going to be without binge eating? Who am I going to be if I don't binge anymore? Who am I going to be if I don't turn to food anymore? We have to work through that, like the identity shifts. We have to actually go through shifting your identity so you can actually sustain binge free months. It's easy to go a week without binging, but when fear pops up, do you pull the plug or do you keep on going? Courtney was someone who never once gave up, committed long term, committed to the highest level of support. She was resilient. She was strong. She leaned into fear. She leaned into the courage so many times along her journey, which is why she has the results that she has. So if you know that you're ready to do things sustainably, you want to go all in, you're like, I'm so beyond ready to conquer binge eating, I'm not looking for a quick fix, and you want that personalized high level mentorship and coaching with me, message me on my Instagram academy and we can see if this is going to be the perfect fit. I'm so proud of Courtney. This is what's possible for you. Like when you just commit, you go all in, you commit long term, you get the proper coaching and support. Not only will you become binge free, you'll heal your relationship with food, but you'll be in a body that actually feels like yours. You'll be more patient. You'll love who you are. You're more calm throughout the day. You don't have to be so snappy and irritable. You can process your emotions more efficiently and not need to use food. Everything can change. So if this resonated with you and you're ready for that next level of support, you can message me on my Instagram academy and we will make sure that it is a perfect fit. Courtney, if you're watching this, I'm so freaking proud of you. It's been an honor to support you over the year. And I'm so excited to continue supporting you and just seeing the magic that we can create together. And everyone listening to this, thank you for listening. And it's your turn. It's your turn to step into the badass that you know you're meant to be and step into your binge free life.